I'm not sure if this is working. Thought I'd give it a go. Yeah, this is the Restream platform, and I've always been looking for a way to be able to stream. Ah, just got a little message. Okay, it appears it is working. I've always wanted to have a way to stream simultaneously um, from my computer to various other platforms without having to constantly post it and repost it. And I just wanted it to be synchronized all at the same time. So I've been looking for a platform, and basically a platform that is not going to bankrupt me every month. And Restream looks like a good option. So if you're looking for a live streaming platform, one that also goes to LinkedIn, which is actually quite difficult to find one that goes to LinkedIn, but this one seems to. Then yeah, give Restream a go, and the prices are actually quite reasonable. Anyway, this is just a quick live stream to test it out, and also I wanted to do a shameless plug for my self-publishing consultancy, whatever. I'm very good at marketing, as you can tell. Yeah, so first of all, just want to explain a little bit of what it is that I do and what a little bit of what I can do for other people. I write books, spy thrillers, although I keep meaning to do other types of books in the future. Um, but I've kind of found my niche in spy thrillers because I mean, it's pretty easy. Good guy, bad guy, bang, 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 you're dead. That's maybe simplifying it a little bit, but I find it easier to write these types of books, and it seems to do quite well. I mean, I'm making a nice salary out of it every month. But it's not just a simple case of write the book and then make lots of money. You've obviously got to either find a traditional publisher who is going to take your book, publish it, publicize it, and then you get like a tiny amount of the revenue. Uh, and there's lots of people who will do that because they don't know any better. They think that if they write a book, they've got to get a publisher, and no judgments for against people like that. But there is a better way if you're willing to put in the extra work. So what I do and what a lot of other people do is called independent publishing, which basically means you do it yourself. And if you do it yourself, you're basically cutting out the middleman. You're cutting out the publisher. So, if they take like 70, 80% of your money for doing distribution, printing, publicizing, whatever, you're left with like a small amount. But if you do independent publishing where you do everything yourself, well, by the time Amazon or another book platform takes their cut, um, you could have 70% of the money for yourself. So, if you're not averse to the idea of doing a little bit of extra work, you can do it yourself and make more money theoretically. Um, but independent publishing has a kind of a bad rap to it because in the past it was called vanity publishing, where basically you got the book printed, you got maybe like 500 copies printed up front, you put them in your garage, maybe your mum might buy one, maybe a sympathetic friend might buy one, and then you've got 498 copies left in your garage, which you eventually throw away because you can't sell them. Plus, as I say, vanity publishing has this image, reputation, deserved or not, where uh, where people look upon you as not a real writer. You know, it's kind of like, oh, you didn't get a publisher. Oh, so you did it yourself. Oh, you know, so there's a lot of independent authors out there who kind of get the snobbish brush off treatment from traditionally published people who have publishers. And they say, well, you're not really a proper author because you don't have a publisher and you don't have an agent. And but you know, the way I see it is that people can say whatever they want because I have more money than them. And at the end of the day, money counts. So these days, with things like Amazon Kindle, for example, and print on demand, you're not actually printing lots and lots of books up front. You're basically producing them when you get a sale. So there's no real risk to this. I mean, okay, there's going to be a financial risk if you buy the formatting software, if you pay for a cover, you know, you pay. There's various fees that you need to pay. So there is a little bit of a financial risk, but if you think about it, it's not really a huge risk. It's something that I encourage people to at least try at least once. So the best, you know, the fact that Amazon has kind of invented the Kindle has kind of opened the door, if so to speak, with regards to independent publishing. You write your book, you get it formatted as an ebook, you upload it, you set your price, and you have to do all the marketing yourself. So like Facebook advertising, Amazon advertising, which is what I mean by doing all the work yourself. But once you get into a routine, once you start to automate quite a lot of it, then it's the sort of thing that kind of runs by itself. You know, it's the classic example of passive income. You know, you put the book up, you do a few ads, you check things every now and then at the end of every month, you get your money. And how much you get, well, that depends on what type of a book it is. Um, from what I've heard, romance novels are a instant money generator. You know, you write a romance novel, put it on Kindle, provided you've got a good cover, good description on Amazon, obviously a good story. Um, apparently, from what I've heard, romance authors are cleaning up. But it's the sort of genre where if you're not familiar with romance novels, if you don't read them from other people and you don't get the elements right, then it's the sort of thing where people can be quite harsh and unforgiving in the Amazon reviews. So it's not really something that anybody can just jump into romance. So I would say that probably the best things to jump into are crime, thrillers, fantasy, and science fiction. If you're doing fiction, that is. Obviously, you can also do non-fiction. You know, you can write a book about your industry, for example, promote it on LinkedIn, call yourself an author. You know, so I mean, there's a lot of possibilities for promoting yourself as an expert in your field if you want to do nonfiction. But I don't do nonfiction, I do fiction. So this is the only area that I can credibly talk about. So yeah, as I said at the beginning, I made the decision to do spy fiction. And it, it's generally not a good idea to swap genres. So you can say, well, I'm going to do thrillers this time, I'll do a crime next time, I'll do science fiction after that. You've kind of got to stay in your lane. You've kind of got to stick to one genre. You have to be known for one genre. I mean, it's just like if Stephen King was to do lots of horror books, and then one day he said, "You know what? I fancy doing science fiction." You know, people would go, "What?" You know. Stephen King, the famous horror writer, he's now doing science fiction or crime or so once you really start to establish yourself in a genre, it doesn't make sense to switch over to something else. And if you are going to switch over, you have to really do it under an alias, a pseudonym. I mean, look at J.K. Rowling. She did the Harry Potter books, and then she wanted to do crime, but she knew that the people who like Harry Potter are not going to like crime, so she wrote under another name. Now, Robert Galbraith, that's the name she used. So if you're going to swap genres, use a different name. But to be perfectly honest with you, I find that sort of thing too much hassle. And I have to say, I got a bit of an ego. I like to see my real name on a cover. So, yeah, it makes sense to sort of establish a genre and stay in it. Once you've written the book, there's formatting software to format it, turn it into an ebook. Generally, a lot of people like to just put it on Amazon Kindle because you can get exclusivity with Amazon and then you get more money, a bit more promotion, etc. And there are some people who just prefer to go wide. They prefer to put their books on as many platforms as possible. But in my experience, that's generally not a great idea financially because whether we like it or not, Amazon rules the roost when it comes to ebooks and print books and audiobooks. They're the monster, if you want to call them that, in the room. They suck all the energy out of all the other companies. So you've got Apple trying it, you've got Kobo trying it, Barnes and Noble, various people, but when they're up against Amazon, they don't really have much of a chance, not when it comes to ebooks. So a lot of people like myself just stick to Amazon, sign the exclusivity deal, and make more money. I mean, there's no two ways around it. I mean, I was wide up until when was it? March last year. I was wide, and I was making pennies. I mean, it was crap. As soon as I go to Kindle, uh, exclusively, my salary, sorry, my royalties went from nothing to a couple of thousand a month. It just kind of like skyrocketed because if you are in Kindle Unlimited, which is the ebook subscription service, you get paid for every time somebody looks at your book and turns a page. So you get paid per page, or you get paid if somebody buys the whole ebook. And obviously, if people are looking for an ebook, they instinctively go to Amazon. So I would say to people, if you want to make money, stay on Amazon. The problem with that, of course, is that if Amazon decides that you're violating one of their rules, then and they kick you off, and you've put all your eggs in the one basket, then you're kind of a bit screwed. You've kind of got to start again on other platforms, and it takes a while to establish yourself. And so that's the downside of only staying on Amazon. But as long as you follow the rules to the best of your ability, then you should be okay. I've been okay. Oh, God, I probably tempted fate now. Knock on wood. So, yeah, I'm planning on doing a series of live streams about independent publishing, about how you can get started, things that you need, things that you do, things that you should avoid, etc. But I'm also thinking about starting. Well, I am actually starting a self-publishing consulting service. So, if you need help getting your first book published, if you need help, I mean, obviously, I can't help with the writing of the book, but if you've got a book ready but you don't know how to get it online onto Amazon. You don't know how to get the book formatted. You don't know how to get the book uh, onto the platform. You're not sure about marketing or any of that stuff. Then I would help you. Basically, I would be there every step of the way and say, right, do this part, do this part, or I can do it for you. Um, Obviously, that's a bit more expensive, but because it's obviously more work for me, but I would be willing to also do parts of it myself for you. So, if that is something that you are interested in, then send me a LinkedIn DM and we can talk about it. Obviously, I've just started it, so I'm still trying to fine tune the details. But I want to kind of assess the interest first before I go too far with the planning and setup of it all. So if you're interested, send me a direct message. Let me know you're interested. Let me know what genre you're in. Let me know how far you've got with the story, and we'll take it from there. And if I see that lots of people are really interested, well, then I'll make more of an effort to get set up, okay, and make a proper thing out of it. So yeah, as I said, this was just a quick thing. Well, 16 minutes, not really quick. Just to try out the Restream platform and do a shameless plug. So, greetings from Germany. I'm Scottish, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. I'm sure you have with my accent. So, greetings from very windy Germany. At least the snow's gone. And yeah, I will bore the shit out of you with another exciting live stream pretty soon. So if you're having trouble sleeping, I'll waffle on and on and on until you're snoring your head off. Don't say I don't think about you. Okay, so nice to talk to you, and I'll be back soon when I can think of something else. See ya.